On defense, number 26, David Gunday.
Happy New Year, Bloomington families. We are coming to you live with the first game of the 2025 year, where our JV Jaguars are taking on Eastview, our first home game in a while. Tonight is a big night. We have, before the varsity game starts, we have the unveiling of a Mike Ryan Memorial, and it is also alumni night. So we will see many alumni from years past in attendance. There will also be an introduction of alumni during the first period intermission of said varsity game. With me, as always, Johnny Rash, man in the camera, at least to start here, Kurt Krenz, until Jason joins us as team member number 4. For the first time in a while, John, I think we're going to have a steady set of 10. I think we saw this JV roster in the just concluded holiday tournament where we had 10 skaters consistently for the whole game. It appears that the coaching staff is going to stick with that approach, with Lola Herman skating all 3 periods. So no natural defensemen on this set of 10. So we've seen some rotation, other than I think Lindman has played predominantly D since about 3rd or 4th game in. But coming off of a good tournament, 2 tough 1-goal losses before winning our final game, what are you expecting to see carry over here, John?
Well, greetings, Ryan. Great to see you. Happy New Year to you and all of our viewers here tonight. And you're quite right. We have a small but mighty crew of 10 who really performed well throughout the season, but especially at the recent tournament up in New Hope. We'll have the same number of players here tonight, and you might be right in that we don't have, as you rightly coined it, natural defensemen, but given the amount of changes that they make on this team, the versatility that JV Jaguars show, they have many players who really can move from position to position, and they're going to get tested right away as Eastview wins the face-off and takes it down into their offensive zone.
Right off the draw, Eastview with a rush, but lost an edge there, cut in front of the net. Eastview, the Lightning, it appears. I did not know that coming in, but it's clearly displayed on the front of the sweaters there.
Very nice sweaters, by the way, Ryan. That's a nice uniform here. It's somewhat akin to...
Old school black and white, yeah.
Kind of akin to what Bemidji wore in the tournament that we just had.
Not as traditional as the forest green that Bemidji was sporting, but the black and white, a very clean look. I do like they got the laced up sweater too. That's also kind of old school looking at the neckline. You saw that on like throwback nights for the Wild. That's not typical in high school hockey.
And an old school look for a relatively new high school. You know, Eastview, of course, hasn't been on the scene that long, and it will be interesting to see how that impacts their hockey program. Very similar, Ryan, to the Jaguars having 10 skaters total. This Eastview JV team has 10 skaters as well. So, you know, you and I have seen several games this year where rival teams have had 15 players or more, and this will be a little bit more even in terms of the fatigue factor, and Eastview better have their legs about them right away because they just drew a penalty here, and the Jags will go on the power play.
Yeah, right out of the gate, that was a too many men on the ice penalty, so a procedural penalty. So let's see how the Jags power play looks here. That looks like we got Trineri playing D for the 2nd straight game. Maybe liked it so much last game of the tournament that she's doing it again. She's back there. Looks like Herman with her on the blue line.
She certainly played well there during the tournament, so indeed they may want to have her take a turn there.
Up front, well, this is Herman making a move, carried it all the way in, got it to first, and a shot sort of bounced on net, but early save from the Lightning goaltender there. We'll get a quick change. The next forward line out looks like Hoffbeck, Woodford, and Thornburg up front. We got Lindman and Keith back on the blue line. Keith's been playing quite a bit of D as well. 1:25 still left in this early power play. We're only 90 seconds into the game. See if Bloomington can register the first shot of the game. So far blanked on the scoreboard. There it is. Hoffbeck, big save and a goal. I'm not sure if that went in off the Hoffbeck shot. It appears so. They're congratulating her. Thornburg was there for a rebound. Maybe Thornburg got the goal. She's going to go first through the line. Wasn't easy for me to tell, John. I know Hoffbeck got the initial shot.
Indeed, and scorekeepers are putting up 2 shots, 1 goal, so it was a rebound goal, but very well played by both of them. Jaguars take an early 1-0 lead, 13:25 remaining here in the first, and Coach Mark Johnson of the varsity team just came by and made the same observation you and I did, Ryan, in that they have the same bench we do. He just said in that, they're going to be dealing with some of the same thing. And again, they were shorthanded there, so that's a power play goal by the Jaguars. Even up now, but the puck is still in the Jaguars' offensive end.
That was Thornburg from Hoffbeck, the official scoring on that. Puck comes out to center ice. Eastview with some speed. This Eastview team, for not having a deep bench, they look pretty skilled. I mean, it's early going here, John. We're only 2 minutes in, but they seem relatively quick. Thornburg with a good move and an excellent save by the Eastview goaltender there. Thornburg got a good backhand off, going for a high glove side, but quick reflexes by the Eastview goaltender stopped that puck.
Ryan, you and I have talked about the amount of tip-ins that the Jaguar JV team has attempted this year. They've also attempted and been successful on some backhanded shots. That was a really nice one by Natalie Thornburg. The goalie, as you mentioned, did stop it, and she is Jaden Ruzzi, who's a 9th grader for the Eastview Lightning, and this game is probably going like lightning for her. She's had several, offensive attempts and officially 3 shots and a goal so far. So she's looking for her team to clear, and indeed they just did.
Eastview gets it out to neutral ice. Herman's got it. She goes D to D with Trineri. Goes back to Herman. Herman's going to skate that one in. One time fooling them with speed. Not going to get it a second time. This time Eastview quickly on her. Muscles are off the puck. They come up the sidewall. Trineri's going to get a shot on net. Pad save into the corner.
Another tip-in attempt there on Ava Trineri's nice shot from the point. Wasn't successful, but the Jags are looking to execute that way.
We got some strong offensive skill set on this blue line with Herman and Trineri. Both frequent goal scorers, good playmakers. I'm expecting we're going to see a lot of offense when those two are on the ice.
You're quite right.
Good hold by Lindman there, fresh off the bench. Quick to grab that puck, shot it back into the corner. This time it comes up the near side wall, and Eastview goes around Keith. We're probably going to get an icing there.
Ada Bird ready to handle anything down there, but wisely just watched it go for icing. She officially has not had any shots, and if you remember, the Lightning won the initial game face-off, came down for an offensive attempt, but boy, they haven't been back there since.
We've seen Tyus playing center ever since the tournament. I didn't see her play much at the beginning of the season, but she's been a pretty consistent at the center since the holiday tournament. Good hold there again by Lindman. She tries to go back to Tyus. Eastview knocks that out off of Tyus' skate. She goes back to Keith. Keith tries to find Sam Nevent on the far side wall, just misses on that pass. Eastview throws it right back to Keith. This time she connects with First. First enters the zone with speed. She's all alone where the line mate's changing behind her. Loses the puck, but slows it down enough to let 4 fresh Jags out on the ice. Lindman retrieves. She tries to hit Hoffbeck up the near side wall, but the puck is shot right back in. First in the corner. She comes away with it. She's going to ice that, trying to find Thornburg, but missed on that pass. So we'll get a defensive zone draw.
We also get a line change, and we get most of the Eastview Lightning, at least their blue line, skating off as well. We're going to see frequent line changes with each bench only having 5 players. 10:28 remaining here with this 1-0 Jaguar lead. Shots are now 4-0, and again, Ada Bird has not been tested yet. Eastview's going to try to change that here by trying to win the draw, but it's taken by the Jaguars.
Early going, a very up and down game, and just as we say, here comes Hoffbeck in for on her forehand. She backhands it. Oh, that hit the post. A glove save. Just got enough of it, tipped that off of the post. Goaltender struggling to get back up after that acrobatic save. Hoffbeck denied on a good backhand shot coming in on a break.
Second good backhand of the game. The first one came coming off Trineri's shot, if you remember.
Well, we have an equipment issue. That's why the goaltender couldn't get back up. I think her leg pads gotten out of whack. Oh, her blade fell off. Blade popped out of her skate. You don't see that very often
No, you
in
really
game
do not. Yeah, and
to pop out.
And, you know, there are some referees who may say, hey, the puck is in play, let that go. I think very smartly and impressively and safely they said, hey, we need a whistle here. We can't have a goalie in there without a blade. We're going to get an injury here. So they now have, you know, of course, assistant coaches have to do everything, Ryan, and I know you've coached a lot here, and he's thought he'd be looking at a clipboard here instead of he's clipping on a blade to his goalie.
And I will tell you,
here.
getting blades in and out of skates is not the easiest thing in the world.
Especially mid-game.
It is.
You know,
With our daughter, we have, interestingly enough, we have like a jar opener, one of those like rubber pads that we keep in her extra blade bag so you don't slice your hand open trying to apply pressure to pop that bad boy in. That's crazy that popped out mid-save.
She's stomping her skate right now to make sure it's in there. So
creative movement on the goaltender's part, too, to slide her way over to the door so that they could get that blade back in. Hopefully that's not a recurring issue this game. There's no second goaltender on the bench.
Indeed, yeah. I wonder if that's ever happened to her.
I'd have to get some duct tape out there.
Yeah.
Hold that baby in.
You know, every hockey game is different, Ryan, and you see something different, it seems, every game. And that's
see the occasional puck get lost in equipment.
Sure. Yeah.
That's our first skate blade falling out mid-play.
And by the goalie, no less.
No kidding.
So, yeah.
Puck comes back to Trineri, who had her broadcasting debut in the third varsity game of the tournament last week.
Did quite a good job there.
She did.
Yeah.
She did. She sounded like she's listened to some hockey broadcasts in her day. She had the rhythm down.
She did, and she certainly was willing to share, you know, her perspective on how she might approach a certain play or a situation as a player. Kurt Kren's asking her some great questions, so that was wonderful, and hope that we can have her join us again.
Yeah, she even handled Kurt jinxing the squad with his "we haven't had any penalties yet" in the game commentary, which you and I both would have chastised him for, but Ava did not. Ava played it cool even after there was about 9 penalties in the first 7 minutes.
All heck broke loose after that. You know, I think there were 7 penalties right after that.
She's probably not seasoned enough to know the jinx power that Krenz has.
We better watch him during the varsity game here
Apparently,
tonight, so.
yes. Bloomington, after an icing, going to get another offensive zone draw. We're 6 minutes in. Bloomington leading in shots 5-0. This has been a very transitional game. Both of these teams seem very fast. It's been a lot of up and down. I think all of Bloomington's chances have really come in a pseudo transition. I mean, I know they scored on that power play, but even that was cutting in from the wing and then off of a rebound on a trailing skater. Both teams very aggressive, chasing after the puck. And here comes Eastview breaking out.
The Lightning haven't been able to get low and
right.
get close. And so, you know, they've taken shots. They haven't hit the net. And here again, they're trying to get low and push off the puck by Annabelle Lindman.
Lindman's really learned the D position well. Like, she leverages the body well. She has good angles. She does a great job holding the blue line for somebody who I think just picked that up this year. And here comes Woodford in. Plenty of space all alone. Oh, it is the second pipe of the game. Same pipe, glove side, had her beat, but that one clanked. You maybe even picked that up on the broadcast. That was about as clear a tink as you're going to hear. Oh, and a good tip in front by Tyus. Her goal-scoring prowess in front of the net there, getting rebounds and tips. And a centering pass covered up. Man, a lot of scoring opportunities here early on.
That was some very sustained pressure by the Jaguars on that particular exchange there. The nice tip attempt by Elise Tyus. The breakaway skated very fast and very well by Etta Woodford. She had a nice shot and it just caught the pipe. And as you know, sometimes it hits the pipe and goes right in, but went just the opposite way. That was her puck luck on that one. But we're going to try and do it again as Carly Sandman fights for it.
I feel like we're accustomed in a lot of games. Teams tend to like play their forwards low and concede shots from the point. This team is guarding the blue line, which is creating opportunities down low where we've got more space, I think, than we usually have. Usually it's pretty congested in front of the net. This team very aggressive, pressuring the puck, even in the defensive end. Good shot there by Thornburg. Rebound save, second attempt by Thornburg. He's going to get a third one here maybe. tried to get it out front, but that got knocked away. Eastview comes the other way. They throw it deep behind the net. Herman's going to retrieve, but under immediate forecheck pressure. She tries to get it to Trineri. It's tied up in the corner. Trineri digs it out, gets it up the sidewall. Hoffbeck, though, can't handle it on her backhand. So Eastview holds it in. They throw it behind the net. Bodied up there by Thornburg. Trineri ahead to Woodford. Woodford tried to hit Hoffbeck. She might get it off the rebound if she's quick here. But Eastview circles back, picks that puck up, gets knocked loose. Puck goes back to Lindman. Lindman ahead to Tyus. Good pass from Lindman there. Good catch on the backhand by Tyus. She's going to get to the front of the net. Hard shot, rebound there. Kicked on net with a skate. Tyus got tied up a little bit by a back-checking Lightning player. Otherwise, she probably would have knocked that home.
Yet
now shots are 9-0.
Right
Holy
there.
cow.
And part of that, Ryan, is because they're coming in pairs. There was the initial shot there, and then the rebound attempt, counting for 2 shots there. And the Jags have not only been faster getting to the net, but they're often faster getting to the rebound. They have 1 goal only to show for it so far, but they keep playing like this. They're going to put more in because they now have a 10-0 lead in terms of shots.
That shot from Lindman at the point. Pad saved into the corner. Oh, centered out front, but Bird with a savvy move sticked that back to the side where the pass came from, preventing it from getting to the far side post.
And beginning a breakout by her team, although the puck comes back down toward her in an icing by the Eastview Lightning.
We're 9 minutes in. We got Bloomington registered 10 shots, John. Is it too early to start talking about my shot per minute golden fleece of a stat tracker? I think we came up 1 short officially in the game against Minneapolis, but so far we're on pace. The draw comes back to Herman. She tried to throw it behind the net for Woodford, but Eastview intercepted that. Thornburg ends up throwing it deep. Hoffbeck's going to give chase. Thornburg pressures on the sidewall. That's held in by Trineri. She again throws it in deep. Woodford's on it now. Goes to the far corner. Hoffbeck tries to get it behind the net to Woodford, but Eastview knocks it free. Hoffbeck drops it back to Herman. Herman's shot hits traffic, gets tipped again in front. 2 different misdirects. That goalie came out, though, cut off that angle. Well played by the Lightning netminder.
She kind of gobbled it up. We use this illusion often, Ryan, but it was kind of like a grounder to short there.
It was.
You know, where she wanted
It's like
to make
a short
sure,
hop, yeah.
She got in front of it. It did take a literal short hop, which for goalies, you know, both pucks that flutter and pucks that bounce are very difficult, but she was right there, able to get it. She's played a very solid, great game, the 9th grader Jaden Ruzzi so far, because she's faced 11 shots and stopped 10 of them.
Eastview won that draw, got it out to the neutral zone. They try to get it in deep, but that's batted back the other way by Herman. And then Sam Nevent throws it in. Tyus is going to get to that puck first. She's got first in front of the net, but that pass intercepted by Eastview. Eastview goes behind the net and then up the near side wall. Keith's going to hold that in. She throws it back deep. Tyus is going to chase into the far side corner. Bloomington changing behind her, but she drops it back to Lindman. Lindman, a good shot on net. Stick save into the corner. Back up the far side wall again. Lindman this time just throws it behind the net. Bloomington, fresh forwards out there. That puck comes held in again by Lindman. Right in front, Woodford gets another good shot. We're up to 13 in the first period. Hoffbeck and Woodford battling behind the net. Get it, centering past Thornburg. And Thornburg this time off of the pipe in the net. You predicted it, John. Sometimes they ricochet in. 3rd time's a charm for Bloomington. That one goes, as they say, bar down. Thornburg nets goal number 2.
Really nice crisp shot by there, and a whole lot of good team play in terms of passing the puck. And, you know, that was all started by Taylor Keith with the hold, keeping it in and then bringing it down deep and shooting it quite hard into the corner, which allowed her offense to get organized, but also a few Jaguars who needed a change to get off the ice. So really well played. Several shots after that, and then the goal by Natalie Thornburg.
I think that's Thornburg's 2nd goal of the game already. This might be the earliest we've been on hat trick watch all season, and well, I don't know that we've had maybe 1 hat trick so far this year, if that. So We've had quite a few two goals scored, but the elusive third has been difficult so far.
At least one of the assists to Etta Woodford, so nice job by her as well. And the Jags are looking to try to do it again with the centering pass, but Eastview intercepts and going to try and get by Taylor Keith, but she's able to push it forward to Etta Woodford, goes to the goalie, and the Jags are able to make a full wholesale change.
Eastview coming out of the zone. Oh, they turn it over. Sam Nevent comes in, makes a move, backhand, saved by the goaltender.
That's about the fourth backhand attempt we've seen tonight.
It was
just terrific.
Trineri's shot from the point, hit traffic. Eastview tried to catch somebody coming off the bench. Trineri now with speed. She's got first with her. She goes down, lightly into the corner, puck's underneath her. Eastview comes away with it. Tries to break it out. Tyus covering for Trineri. Momentarily held it in, but got bodied up. She's giving it back. Both players battling on the near side wall there. That was physical.
On both parts, but clean and no whistle.
Yeah, and here comes Herman into the zone with speed. All four Bloomington skaters changing behind, so Herman is trying to hold the puck while reinforcements arrive. She's stuck in the corner, 1-on-3. Puck gets batted out. Keith knocks that down. She's got to hurry here. 2 forecheckers. She's going to go behind the net. She's got Woodford up ahead, along with Thornburg. She goes cross ice, hits Hoffbeck on her tape. Good pass there by Keith. Hoffbeck with speed around the net. She's got Thornburg and Woodford in front. She goes back to Lemon at the point. Lemon whiffs on that shot a little bit, and that gets iced down. So we'll get another offensive zone draw. So 2 minutes left in the first period. Bloomington 16 shots. Eastview has not officially registered a shot yet, John.
So we certainly are on that pace, so far, and then some. And that was a very nice stretch pass by Taylor Keith there. Good catch by Megan Hoffbeck, creating that offensive opportunity. Didn't go in, but the Jags continue to put on a tremendous amount of pressure.
We might have to get Berta Latte at the second intermission here, John, just to keep her awake down here. Puck comes into the Bloomington zone. Eastview has really done it good. They're aggressively forechecking, but you've made the point, John. They're just struggling to get pucks in front of the net and getting shots on net. Most of the play is kept to the side wall or behind the net, and Jefferson doing a good job of clearing the zone, getting it out after Eastview gains the offensive zone. Here's a good move by an Eastview forward. Tried to drop it, but they're going to retain possession. That shot goes wide of the net, rings the boards, comes out to the blue line. That shot hit traffic and then is intercepted by Keith. Keith looking for Hoffbeck, but Jefferson gassed, going for a change. Woodford not content to just let him take possession. She steals that puck, knocks it in as 4 skaters change behind her. She gets it to Tyus. Tyus' shot just wide.
That wasn't a backhanded shot, but a backhanded pass by Etta Woodford that was really nice to Elise Tyus.
Tyus still possessing it, looking for a pass. Drops it back to Trineri. Trineri's shot hit a defenseman, or hit an Eastview forward, I should say. Oh, Herman got around 2 Eastview Lightning, but couldn't get around the third. Puck thrown into the defensive end. Trineri quick to get it, tries to go up the sidewall, gets it ahead for first, but bounced off the wall a little too far. Tyus tried to get it to Sam Nevent. Eastview the other way. 30 seconds left in period 1. Good move here. We might get our first shot, but no, that goes wide of the net as well. First pressuring it on the sidewall. Tyus, her clearing attempt hits traffic. Comes out to the neutral zone. Eastview trying to set up. Dumps it in deep, but Herman's going to retrieve. We got 7 seconds left. Bloomington with about as perfect a first period as you can have. They're going to end period 1 with a 2-0 lead and a 16-0 shot advantage, John. You can't diagram it any better than that.
Unbelievable, and a really active first period by Jefferson, and you had Natalie Thornburg, and as they're announcing here right now, on the first goal as well as on the second goal. So 2 nice goals by her, but shots by everyone on the team for the 16-0 shot lead here. So great play by the Jaguars, but I think it's particularly important to give a shout out to Jaden Ruzzi, the 9th grade Eastview goalie, who is quiet a night as Ada Bird has had. She's had a chaotic night.
The opposite, yep.
Stopped, facing 16 shots, 2 of them going in, losing a skate blade, having some pucks go off the bar. One went bar down into the net by Natalie Thornburg there. So, she's certainly going to try and get as much as she can out of this 3-minute break. Now down to 2 minutes.
She's really made some acrobatic saves too. I mean, not only showing good positioning, but some good athleticism. She seems very quick back there. Not a whole lot you can do if somebody goes bar down on you, John. That you tip your cap to the shooter on that one. And the first goal was actually she made the initial save on a pseudo breakaway from the left side, and then it was the rebound knocked in. I think the old adage, right, is the goalie's responsible for the first save. After that, it's Dee's job to clear that puck.
And as we noted and noticed during the first period, Ryan, a whole lot of rebound opportunities for the Jaguars. So the shot total often were coming in pairs, where there would be not just one shot and then cleared by Eastview, but there was a shot and a rebound opportunity, and you keep doing that, and we'll keep adding to that 16-shot total, but also to the goal total as well. That goal total stands at 2-0 here. 1:11 remaining before the first period, and both teams, with only 10 skaters each, are certainly probably going to feel it a little bit at the end of this second period, but more equally, than normal Jaguar JV games that they're involved in.
This game definitely has a different feel. I'm so accustomed, John, to having teams that sort of pack it in the defensive end and sort of just clog up the slot, like we alluded to earlier, conceding shots from the blue line, which is how Jefferson has had as many tipped goals as they've had, is they're getting it back to the points when they're open. This Eastview team, though, plays a more aggressive style where they're keeping their wings high to try to prevent those blue line shots and just playing 3-on-3 down low, which has obviously contributed to the fact that we've got 16 shots, most of them coming from the forwards.
Both coaches talking to their squads here, and probably quite different conversations, but both seem upbeat. And, certainly a nice couple of hand claps here by the Eastview coach, which is what players down 16-0 in shots need. They understand that they've got a challenge in front of them. So it'll be interesting to see if they come out any differently. But, and Ryan, I also always think it's interesting. We'll be bringing you the varsity game here with Kurt Krenz and Jason Knutson here at 7 o'clock. If their varsity team, how reflective of the JV team it is. And
if the speed carries over, that's the thing that's standing out to me, is this Eastview team seems fast, sort of top to bottom.
Fast as lightning. It's living up to their nickname there.
Good call.
Always good to see this, and always worth noting here as both goalies skate out and switch ends here. They give each other a high five. Ada Bird giving proper respect to her goaltender opponent, Jaden Ruzi, for how well she's played. Ada has certainly been alert, but she hasn't been tested yet. We'll see what happens. Of course, in the second period, they go for the long change. So not only might they be tired, but they are going to have to, change a little bit longer because the goalies, of course, go on the opposite end in the second.
Off of the draw, Bloomington wins the draw, but ends up back behind the net. Keith retrieves there. Has little trouble handling the puck along the wall. Trineri's there to help out. I think Trineri's moved up to forward, so they're switching up lines mid-game. Sometimes we see that, sometimes we don't. So it looks like Trineri's moved up to the forward line. She's now with Hoffbeck and Woodford. I'll be curious to see whether Thornburg, who was centering this line in period 1, if she's moved back to the blue line, maybe wanting to let some other players get an opportunity to net some here.
Well, sometimes their transition from forward to D is also reflective of if they have any varsity players coming in for a period, but we certainly don't see any indication of that, don't necessarily expect it. So, Coaches Schramm and Getters are really good about just getting them to switch up.
Eastview trying to get their first shot on net. That defended well. I think that hit Hoffbeck's stick. Hoffbeck goes across to Keith. Keith finds Tyus, tips it. That's going to be on net, or just wide of the net. But it was across the red line, so no icing. I think the goaltender was expecting icing there. But Tyus was across the red line when she tipped it. Eastview trying to clear the zone. And indeed, we got Thornburg back on the blue line for period 2. Paired up with Herman. Herman retrieves that puck, comes around the net, finds first to Tyus, back to first. She tips it ahead. Eastview, though, dumps it right back in. Herman's going to look for Thornburg. Goes D to D, finds her on the near side wall. She's going to take it herself. She's got first with her. Gets a shot. That one sails high over the net. Sam Nevent forces a turnover. Tyus holds the zone, gets a shot on net. First retrieve. She goes back to Herman. Herman's going to try to get that shot through. That intercepted, though, by an Eastview defender. She comes the other way. Throws it deep into the corner. Herman retrieves. She goes up the sidewall to Sam Nevent. Good catch there by Sam Nevent. She bats it ahead. Bloomington in the midst of a change, trying to get it deep. Ooh,
Nice
Eastview came with
there.
speed, but
Absolutely.
Thornburg just poked the puck away. Almost
She's having quite a game, Ryan. You know, of course, the 2 goals
she is having
offensively.
quite a game.
But that was a really nice defensive play, and it was beginning to look like Eastview's best chance for, getting truly to the net there, and she prevented that.
Herman drawing a lot of attention when she rushes from the D line there. Woodford about an extremely difficult angle shot there, sailed through the crease, but Trineri gives chase. She and Woodford, two people battling for it in the corner. Trineri's got it. She gets it behind the net to Woodford. Woodford looking for somebody out front, goes back to Trineri. She can't get a shot on net. Woodford, though, holds it in with some help from Hoffbeck. Eastview behind the net, trying to get it out of the zone. Woodford intercepts it again, but whiffs on the shot. Hoffbeck instead picks it up. She gets a shot on net. That's sticked in the corner. Tyus, fresh off the bench. She's fighting for it. It's going to be held in by Lindman. Gets to Woodford. That backhander doesn't get through. Lindman, another attempt. And a tip by Tyus. Glove saved by the goaltender.
Very nice tip there. It was just slightly wide of the net there, but she's positioning herself really well and, using her leverage there to be in front and get those opportunities.
It's not easy to get your stick on shots either in front when you're usually getting checked in the back, sometimes having your stick lifted. To have the hand-eye coordination and the strength to get a blade on it, that is not an easy thing to do.
And of course, at times you have to have your eyes looking forward to see exactly where the goalie is and the net, and not lose track of that. So well played by Elise Tyus, and we've seen that from the first goal of the year here. So
my favorite, I do not recall when I was a youth, John, the refs yelling off when we were, like if we went offsides, they just waited until we touched it and blew the whistle like, hey, idiot, get back on side. It's always fun here when they yell and the one player doesn't hear it. The crowd starts yelling, and
Coach Schramm with a big smile after that one, but goes to a neutral zone draw and is back now at the Jaguars blue line, but at least Tyus
is on point with her passing today.
Indeed.
Went blue line to blue line, found Tyus. Tyus with a good shot entering the zone. She picks up her own rebound, chases it down in the corner. She goes back to Lindman. Lindman's shot hit a skate, though. Banks behind the net. Eastview has some room to operate here. Tries to get an outlet pass. Lindman does a good job tying up the Eastview forward and shoots it back in. Sam Nevent, 4 checks, but here comes Eastview, again with speed. John, it's not that other teams can't have fast skaters. That might be the first official shot from Eastview. It does register. The streak is over. 20 minutes into the game before the first shot. Oh, and a dangerous deflection in front. Bird quickly gloves that before the onrushing forward can tap it in.
That first shot got a little applause from the Eastview Lightning fans who are up there, and I'm hoping that wasn't a Bronx cheer and more
that
of
might
a
have been.
legitimate one.
That might have been.
You're quite right. That was their first shot of the game there, and not surprisingly handled ably by Ada Bird. Jaguars will have a face-off here. It goes to Eastview down on their end, and Eastview gets another
second
good shot.
Quick.
The second shot was stronger
pass.
than the first one, so that was nice. Yeah. But
See,
again,
when I keep referencing the speed, John, most of the teams we play will have a few skaters who are quick. This Eastview team, though, 11 deep now, they seem to have speed up and down the roster. Like all of their skaters. And speaking of speed, here comes Hoffbeck. Oh, had Woodford with her, but excellent defensive play by the Eastview D. Poke checked that away as Hoffbeck tried to cut through to the middle. Shot sneaks through. That was by Thornburg at the blue line.
that offensive opportunity by Megan Hoffbeck was set up by her defense blocking the shot from the Eastview forward, and then she began a little bit of a breakaway. It didn't end up directly on net, but really nicely played by Megan.
Yeah, Herman had to hustle just to like keep up with that on-rushing Lightning forward. And here we go, offside. Yep, that's one for each team now. And you can tell the reaction like, what happened? The universal sign of two hands out, like, what did I do? Every parent's familiar with it.
Every coach too. We get a smile from
That wasn't
the
my
Lightning coach
penalty.
as well, who's remaining upbeat and cheering on his team here. Jaguars get a late defensive change here with Lindman and Keith taking the blue line.
Keith, a little hard with the pass to Lindman there. Lindman tries to get it to Sam Nevent. Oh, that shot intercepted right at the goal crease by Keith. Gets it ahead to Tyus in first. Tyus carries it through but runs into two Eastview defenders. Comes to the near side wall. Held in by Lindman. Sam Nevent gets a fluttering shot on. Blocker saved into the corner. Comes out to the blue line. Good shot there by Keith holding the zone. Sam Nevent going to retrieve. She throws it back to Lindman. Lindman tried to get it to Tyus in front. And that's on net, so no icing. Kicks to Keith. Bloomington coming the other way. Keith's picking up some speed. She's going to try to get it in deep. Bloomington changing behind her. Turned over at the blue line. Lindman hustling to get that. She tries to go off the wall. Sam Nevent tries to get it ahead. But Eastview succeeds in knocking it down. Goes into the far side corner. Keith's got it. Immediately under pressure. She's trying to get it ahead to Woodford. Tied up along the far side wall. Eastview dumps it back. Trineri's got it now. She's got Sam Nevent ahead. Good bank shot pass. Sam Nevent trying to get it ahead to Woodford. She dumps it on net. Woodford hard charge is going to force a cover. And we get an offensive zone draw.
The state of play looks closer, Ryan, than the shot total and the score of 2-0. And notably, in the second period here, Jaguars are playing well, but the shots are 5 for the Jags and 4 for the Lightning at this point. And so it's a little bit more reflective of the caliber of both teams. The anomaly might have been the 16-0 first period shot differential, but so far shots are 21 for the Jaguars and 4 for the Lightning.
So typically with only 10 skaters, another backhand shot save. We talk about conditioning a lot, especially in the second period, because 2 lines is tough when you're going the long way. But this type of game where it is up and down, back and forth, this is going to be a test of conditioning for both teams. So that will be a factor if one team can keep up that level of speed and hustle through 3 periods. If the other team fades, Jefferson's going to have to be careful here that they don't get caught worn down in the third period.
You're quite right. With 7:38, we're basically halfway through the second period here. They do have the long change, as we mentioned, and as always happens, because they don't clear the ice after the first period in JV games, you start getting a lot of snow on the ice too.
A good flurry there from Eastview. Tallied a couple shots, including one close range there. Backhander that Bird quickly covered. But yeah, you're right, John. Eastview showing a little more life here in the second period. Tallied 6 shots so far, but more than that, they've had some offensive zone possession. They're getting the puck in front of the net in a way that they didn't in the first period.
Well, perhaps, some of the coaching in between the first and just some girls getting their legs out from underneath them. Notably, in their schedule, this looks like the first time that Eastview has played since before Christmas. So, and the Jags, of course, had, the 3 days, 3 consecutive games over the tournament just last week. So, you have a little bit of a difference there as well.
Lindman's got some room. She carries it into the zone herself. Eastview tried to go behind the net, hit the side of the net instead. Lindman still playing up front. Takes the body, gets it back to Tyus, who was covering at the point. They switch back. Eastview succeeds in going D to D behind the net this time. They break it out. Keith holds it in, but not until it crosses the blue line. Here comes Eastview. They got around Tyus. Hoffbeck with a good back check, but Eastview still gets it in front. Tipped clear by Keith. Shot on net, goes through the crease. Not on net, but shot attempt. Gets knocked into the corner. Eastview with some more pressure here. Keith gets it to Lindman. Lindman finds Hoffbeck. Hoffbeck tries to go cross ice to First. I think First might have been going for a change. But now she tries to forecheck. Here comes Eastview again the other way. Good D by Keith, knocking that puck free. Centering pass intercepted by Tyus. And we're going to get a penalty. Must be on, I see Keith heading to the bench. That was physical play on the sidewall there. She's going to get called for a high stick. I didn't see the high stick, but I did see she was mixing it up a bit.
It has gotten physical a few times here.
Yeah.
Certainly nothing, that would be unsportsmanlike, but physical. If you remember, there was, in front of the bench or the glass right here, we had a little bit of a push between Elise Tyus and her opponent, and now this high sticking here. So the Jags go on the penalty kill for the first time tonight, Ryan. They had a power play at the beginning of the game.
Eastview won that draw, but tried to go back to the point. Could not get a shot off, but they're holding the zone. They get it into the corner. They got some room to set up shop now. Instead of tough angle shot, Bird gloved that, making that look easy. Good movement there. So we'll get another defensive zone draw. Out on the penalty kill, we got Trinary and Woodford up front. Thornburg and Herman on D. Trinary taking the draw, but again, that's one back. Oh, that's dangerous. Herman blocked that with her skate in front. You always got to be cognizant of not redirecting the puck on behalf. Helping out the other team. Woodford dumps it in. She's forechecking. Trinary sort of playing that center field back. Eastview dumps it in, and it's a puck race. Eastview's going to win that. Thornburg basically has to just grab the Eastview forward. They're going to have a 5-on-3, but first Bloomington's got to touch the puck here. Eastview taking their time trying to get a goalie off. Finally Herman touches it. We saw 5-on-3 in the varsity game last Saturday, John. That was really exciting. Your daughter in net faced about 47 shots by my unofficial tally, but kept the opponent off the board. This is not an easy thing to do. 5-on-3 is really tough. I mean, you typically see you play a very condensed
Indeed. And
condensed D. You basically concede shots from the outside and just try to limit it to one shot, clear the rebound, and hope that
you can get
they don't
clear.
get bodies in front.
Absolutely. We'll see how much Eastview perhaps has practiced this.
Bloomington's got a minute, and Trinary does a good job of getting that puck out. Tyus is going to try to get behind the D. Slides that on net. She continues to forecheck. Slows down the Eastview breakout. Trinary back on the blue line with Lindman here. And it's not 5-on-3 is not something you practice either, John, because it's such a rare occurrence. You're not going to give a lot of time to how you defend 5-on-3.
No, but so far they seem to be doing a good job of it. And in fact, Elise Tyus got a shot on goal during that exchange. And that's as rare as a 5-on-3 is an offensive shot when you're down two players. It seems even more rare, but well played by Tyus, who gets a clear here, and now it heads to Trinary, who's going to
try to convert here into an offensive opportunity. Makes a move, gets a shot, but saved. You don't often see offensive shots 5-on-3, but that was the second one from Bloomington there.
Indeed, and really nice speed and muscle by Ava Trinary right there to cut the corner and cut her defender off, get a nice sharp shot off. The goalie, Ruzi, was equal to it. She's now faced 22 shots, stopped 20 of them, as the Jags are up 2-0. 7 shots so far for the Lightning. They'll try to add to it, but they have a defensive zone draw here, even though they have a 5-on-3 advantage.
Bloomington mixing and matching. Woodford playing D now. Keith out of the box, so Bloomington back to 5-on-4. Woodford's going to have to hustle. Good use of the body to try to one-hand that puck in. She gets sort of carries it on net. Not really a shot, but Bird had to make a save nonetheless. Keith trying to backhand it out. That's going to be held in temporarily. Woodford's backhand attempt clears the zone all the way down. Bloomington's got 30 seconds left that they got to kill. Woodford on the forecheck, knocks that puck off her skate. Hoffbeck helps out. Comes in. Eastview's shot broken up by Keith. Keith's playing really, really well, especially at the blue line. Broke up that play. Her clearing attempt, though, held in. Pad saved by Bird. Herman's going to try to race out. She's got Woodford with her. Cuts to the middle. Gonna get a shot. Oh, just rolled off her stick at the tail end. Had Woodford crash in the net for a possible rebound.
But that killed off the penalty time
They
right
did.
there. So the Jags are back to full strength here, 5-on-5, and they killed off, Ryan, a 5-on-3. You mentioned that we had the same situation in the varsity game last week, and we were able to keep the opponent from scoring, and the Jaguar JV team just did the same.
Now the challenge of trying to get your lines back to some semblance of where you started after juggling people all over the place. I think we've got Tyus out there with Sam Nevent in first. That's the group that started playing together at the beginning of the game. And we got Lindman and Thornburg back on the blue line.
2:47 remaining here in the second.
That puck comes back to Lindman. He tries to dump it into the corner. Gets to Tyus. Tyus centers it in front. First does a good job to get a shot on net. Another good save by the Eastview goaltender. 21st save of the game. Here comes Eastview the other way. Makes a move. I'm not sure if that hit the net, but that didn't make it in. Another save for Bird. Good move by Eastview there. I think she might have gotten it under the pad, but didn't cross the goal line.
No, and I think at the end it ended up hitting the pipe as well. And
That
so
could be.
The goalie's best friend coming through right there. So
First with a good move to get around. Now she's in all alone. She makes a move, and the backhander, Scott. Dude, this Eastview goaltender is playing phenomenally well, John.
absolutely.
We are
24 shots,
peppering
so-
her with and good shots.
and multiple backhand shots. That has to
Yes.
be at least the 5th or 6th at that point. A few tips that she's had to contend with as well. Some that have fluttered, and the shots that have scored, both of them by Natalie Thornburg, are
Yep.
terrific shots, including a really nice sharp bar down one for the second goal of the game, and making this a 2-0 lead here. Jags will try to add on to that with 1:56 remaining
And
here
here
in
comes
the second.
Eastview with a possible 2-on-1. They get Keith turned around. That backhander poked into the corner. Goes behind the net. Keith retrieves. Her pass attempts sort of fell off her stick there, trying to get it to Woodford. She comes cross ice now to Hoffbeck, but the puck's loose in the slot. Shot hit Herman's skate. Fortunately goes wide of the net. Now Keith gets it ahead to Woodford. Woodford finds Hoffbeck. Hoffbeck makes a move. She's going to get a shot here. Woodford crashing from the far side, but the rebound comes back to Hoffbeck. Woodford comes over to get it. She's tied up behind the net, tries to get it to Hoffbeck. Centered for Trineri. Her shot hit a stick, fluttered over the net. Good pressure here by this line. Trineri chasing into the corner. Forces a D-to-D pass. Eastview kind of stuck down below the goal line now. They finally get it out to the center ice. Goes into the D zone. Keith's got it. She's waiting for line mates to get set. She finds Sam Nevent. Sam Nevent crosses the red line. Tries to get it ahead to first, but Eastview steals that pass, comes the other way. Skates, comes back to the forehand. Good save by Bird, toe save, and then the follow-up shot from Eastview went high over the net. Bloomington kind of trying to hold on here in the last 20 seconds of period 2. They've given up 12 shots this period. Puck comes to first. First tries to hit Tyus up ahead, and she does. Excellent pass. Tyus, though, tied up. Her shot just went wide. Impressive pass by First there. Raised it, got over a defensive stick. 3 seconds left. One final shot. Bird blocks that, covers it. Woo! An exciting second period there, John. Bloomington, after not giving up a shot in period 1, gave up 12 shots.
Up to 13 here, and in fact,
13.
they outshot the Jaguars 13-9 that period. A very nice period by Ada Bird. And as you know, Ryan, sometimes that can be very challenging for a goalie when they're unchallenged.
Yes.
In the first, they haven't,
Get a
really
little
had
cold
been
just
tested at all.
sitting back
Exactly.
there, yeah.
It's almost like coming into a game cold there after a full period. But she was equal to the task, as she so often is, keeping the Lightning off the scoreboard. Jags did not add to their 2 goals from the first period by Natalie Thornburg, but they skate into a very well-deserved break here in between periods with a 2-0 lead here.
And John and I will take a break as well for the second period resurfacing here. We will rejoin the broadcast for the start of the third.
Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.
And there was the end of the second period. Scoring summary, there were no
Wait a minute, should we?
I'm good. All right, we are back for the start of the third period. Teams just now coming out of the locker rooms on the fresh sheet of ice. We talk a lot about how the first few minutes of that third period take an adjustment because we go from having a lot of snow build up and a slower puck, slower skating, to a fresh sheet of ice where everything's a little faster. Occasionally you get the spots that are slow to freeze where the puck tends to stick. But it appears that the refs are taking their time. We shouldn't have that issue, hopefully, for the start of the third. Reset where we're at. Bloomington heads into the third period with a 2-goal lead. Both goals scored early in the first period by Natalie Thornburg. Second period was scoreless. Shots evened out a bit in period number 2. It now stands 25-13 in favor of Bloomington. But, John, I thought Eastview probably carried play a little more, had the advantage in period number 2. So Bloomington's going to need to regain some momentum, I think, here.
Indeed, they slightly outshot the Jaguars in that second period. My sense is they played more to the type of team that they are. When we saw them in warm-ups, when we saw them skating up and down the rink there, it didn't look like a team that was going to get outshot 20-0.
Right.
We've seen a few of those teams throughout the years, Ryan. This didn't look like one of them. And sure enough, in the second period, they outshot the Jaguars 13-9 and were more competitive. They weren't able to get a puck past Ada Bird. That's a difficult thing to do, as you know. And so she's going in with 2 periods of shutout hockey here. We'll try to make it a third, but in a sense, Ryan, as I think you have as well, it's going to be a competitive third period as well.
Well, and you said Eastview coming off a pretty lengthy period of not playing, right? A layoff, so they might have been a little rusty in the first period
before
too.
Christmas that they hadn't played, and we'll see if that carries over to the varsity game here. Face-off won by Natalie Thornburg, but Eastview gets control of it as they put it deep by Ada Bird, but played defensively by the Jaguars as well.
Tough angle shot, hit Bird's pad, kick to the corner. Thornburg, who played D in period number 2, back up to the forward line, centering Woodford and Hoffbeck. We'll see who drops back to the blue line for period number 3. That's a D-to-D pass broken up by Hoffbeck. Now Woodford's got it into the corner. She's fighting for it with an Eastview defender. Thornburg comes in. Woodford carries it right out front, tries to find the far side post, but shot that wide. Keith throws a shot in front. Thornburg got a tip on it. Back into the corner. Hoffbeck and Woodford again on the puck. Eastview succeeds in breaking out, but Keith's going to get to that puck. Fire it right back into the corner. Bloomington gets a couple of forwards changing while Thornburg presses. Thornburg has it on the near side wall, centers it, but Bloomington not quite into the slot yet. Eastview trying to break out. Sam DeVent in first. Bottle them up. Trineri, who's dropped back after playing forward period 2. She's back on the blue line. But here she's going to carry it in. Dumps it into the corner. Tyus is going to hold the zone. Her shot goes well wide of the net. First gives chase. She's in the corner. Muscled up, but tries to get it back to the blue line. Sam DeVent now, she tries to get it back, but Eastview ends up carrying it out of the zone. Trineri poke checks it ahead. She's going to take it the other way, but just couldn't get around the Eastview forward. Body's hitting the ice at center ice. Good shot on net from Eastview. Herman's got it now. She comes up the near side wall. Sam DeVent can't quite handle that, and Eastview dumps it right back in. Trineri retrieves. She have Woodford and Tyus. She goes off the wall to Woodford. That got by the Eastview defense, called for an icing.
First whistle of the period. We're 2 minutes and 4 seconds in. One shot by the Lightning, none so far by the Jaguars, but pretty evenly played in that 2-minute time span there. So again, a highly competitive game after that first period here. Ada Bird will face a face-off to her left.
After that quick flurry at the beginning, we called out the Thornburg hat trick watch, but then after she moved back to the blue line, that sort of took a back seat. I think we're back on here for period number 3, and as we call it, here comes Thornburg up the far side. Oh, she drew the penalty, had that puck hooked away from her as she was trying to get around the Eastview D, but she still got it, still trying to battle to it in front of the net. She probably could have had 2. They might take 2 penalties. I think they might have taken both for hooking. Talking about, John, how we Oh, they're taking one Bloomington player as well?
It looks like they actually might be taking
Boy,
Natalie
that-
Thornburg. And Ryan,
I don't know
you
what
and I
that
watched
was,
whole
John.
exchange, and I do not know what they're
She had the
calling her
puck
for.
the whole
She did.
time.
And she had drawn a penalty and been able to hold on to it there. So we'll have to see what they call on her. But that's a little bit of a
They
mystery
said
here.
hooking for both.
Okay.
Maybe at the tail end when they were, maybe when the Lightning were trying to like touch up to get the penalty. Maybe they are saying she hooked at the. I don't know, John. That is an odd sequence there. I thought maybe they had called 2 penalties on Eastview. She had the puck for so long trying to battle to the front of the net.
Well, we lose a valuable player for 2 minutes, but it is 5-on-5 because they're offsetting penalties here. So Jaguars play on and are going to need to tag up here, get called for icing for the 3rd time tonight with the refs yelling loud. But unfortunately, the players on each side not being able to hear it at that point will have a neutral zone draw.
When they only have 10 skaters, these coincidental penalties where it's still 5-on-5, but you have a player in the box, somewhat messes up your lines again, John, because now you got a weird rotation with one of your players sitting in the box, but you're still playing 5-on-5.
So the faceoff now goes to.
I think they were saying Hoffbeck
left.
touched that even though she knew it was offsides.
So an intentional offsides,
Yeah.
perhaps, and so that's why it's not a neutral zone draw, but a defensive one by the Jaguars, and it allows Eastview to get a good scoring opportunity, but no goal.
Shot from the point. There was a tip in front, but I think that went wide of the net. Trineri tries to go D to D to Herman. Herman tries to get it up the near side wall, but that hit traffic. Comes out to the blue line. Woodford pressuring. She gets a stick on it. A little bit of confusion. She goes across to Hoffbeck. Hoffbeck tries to return the pass to Woodford. She's going to change behind the play. Bloomington a little confused here with the weird rotations. Not sure who's supposed to be out, so now they're playing 5-on-4 due to some confusion on the bench. That shot gets saved into the corner. Tyus tries to muscle it out. Here comes Sandevent. She's going to have Woodford with her. Skates it across the blue line, throws that puck on net. It's loose, but dribbles into the corner. And here comes Eastview the other way, and again, Bloomington with only 4 skaters out. These coincidental minors is throwing the rotations for a loop here, John.
Eastview trying and almost completing a nice stretch pass, which would have created a potential breakaway opportunity, but the puck just went a little bit long, ends up being an icing here. It'll be to the Eastview goaltender's left, taken by Tyus here, and again, we have 4 skaters down, and they're looking to get another on. Annabelle Lindman joins them on the blue line.
That puck's batted around on the far side wall. First is going to chase behind the net. She's tied up there. Sticks get a little high, but no call. Comes out to Keith. Keith's pass hits Tyus in front. Initial tip, and then, as we've seen all year, she knocks home a backhanded rebound, John, for goal number 3.
So the themes of the night, as we've been talking about shots, Ryan, have been tips and backhands.
Yeah.
She had both on one sequence, put it in the net there, and it gave the Jaguars a 3-0 lead here with 10:51 remaining in the third. Shots 28 now for the Jags, 16 for Eastview, and that's going to be a real tough one for Eastview because they had kind of drawn a little bit even in terms of their play, but now they're down 3-0 here.
I tell you, Tyus has been so strong in front of the net, John. All right from the get-go early in the season. She just has a knack for being able to hold her own down there, taking the abuse that comes with it, keeping her balance. Got good hands, able to get her stick on the puck in tight quarters. It's really a marketable skill she's got, something unique that she brings to the table.
Well, the first goal of the season and the most recent one by her, and in the same way with the tip, although that one was a tip and a backhand, as we mentioned, but you're quite right, and that's been really effective for the Jaguars this year. So the penalties have expired, and now that we just got an icing whistle here, both players will be able to rejoin their teams, and Natalie Thornburg is going right to the ice there, giving one of her teammates a well-deserved break, as is the Eastview Lightning player who got a coincidental hooking call along with Natalie. So 10:01 remaining here in the third with a 3-0 lead.
Thornburg taking that draw. Oh, good shot from Eastview right off the draw. Hit the wing in the middle. She one-timed that on net. Another save by Bird. Her 17th of the game. That shot from the blue line hit traffic. Hoffbeck tried to get it ahead to Thornburg. I thought they would have waved that one off, but nope. We're going to get another icing call. Try that again. Eastview now should be up to 18 shots, I think, when they register that latest one. Thornburg going to take this draw again. Try to win it back into the corner. Eastview's been winning, I think, the majority of the faceoffs too, John. It's not necessarily a stat that you typically pay attention to or track closely. Here comes Thornburg. She's going to get a good shot from the blue line, but absorbed by the Eastview goaltender. No rebound given up.
No rebound, but very well played because it allows the Jaguars to make a badly needed change and to get a face-off to the goaltender's left. So we'll have an offensive zone draw here. That'll be taken by Elise Tyus, and they'll certainly try to get another shot on goal here. Taken and won by Tyus.
Back to Lindman at the blue line. Lindman content to just dump it in the corner. She gets dumped after she drops that in. Physical play continuing into period number 3 here. Eastview goes behind the net. They try to get it up to the blue line, but it's held in by Sam Nevent. Comes across the First. First tries to go back to Keith. Keith has to retreat to neutral zone. She goes across to Lindman. Lindman tried to hit Sam Nevent. Missed on the pass, but it goes in deep. No icing. First is going to retrieve. Centers it to Sam Nevent. Comes out to Lindman. Lindman chips it in front. First tried to redirect. A backhander hit the side of the net. Eastview's got it now. They go behind the net. Close quarters there. Going to come out to Keith. Keith fires that one a little wide. Sam Nevent's going to try to get there and hold the zone. Gets by Lindman. Bloomington starting to show some fatigue, John. We talked about conditioning earlier in the game with 10 skaters aside. After that lengthy second period, Bloomington starting to wind down a little bit. Eastview still showing they've got some speed here. They spin around the offensive end, waiting for reinforcements. They possess the puck. They get it back to the high slot. That shot hit traffic. I think that was saved by the shaft of Bird's stick
Often
into the
when we
corner.
say a stick save, we're talking about the paddle, but
Yes.
that was the shaft right there, and really nice. Giving Eastview the shaft as they try to break through here, for their first goal.
Oh, I wish I had
Well played by
thought of
Ada
that.
Bird.
Bird gives Eastview we got to save that one for later, John. Clearing attempt held in. Bloomington struggling a bit here. Eastview's had it in the zone for about a minute. It finally comes to Keith, who just ices the puck to get a much-needed change.
It's a minor difference, Ryan, but we're talking about each side as we began having 5 skaters on the side, and now Eastview has 6, meaning one of their varsity players is playing a period here. Again, it's not significant,
Yeah.
but it does allow
Doesn't hurt.
an occasional
Yep.
player to not have to be out there every other shift, and that might give them a little bit more legs. But so far, the Jaguars are equal to it because they're halfway through this third period with a 3-0 lead.
Woodford up ahead. She's got Hoffbeck with her. Woodford makes a move and fires wide of the net. Held in by Thornburg. Thornburg, she gets to the front of the net. Pad save, and Woodford knocks home the rebound to give Bloomington what now seems like a very comfortable 4-0 lead, John.
Very well played in terms of the shot, but also the rebound. Very nice shift there by Etta Woodford, who was able to intercept that pass, break out, get a nice shot. It went wide, but she stayed with it. And then Thornburg got a shot on net with Woodford with the rebound. 4-0 here, so likely will be Woodford with the goal and Thornburg with the assist.
Interestingly enough, John, that was another really good save. The Lightning goaltender with a toe save off of Thornburg's initial shot, which was a really good shot in and of itself. But not much you can do when you're sprawled out after a kick save, and then an opponent sitting in front controls the puck on her forehand, no less. That's not much you can ask of the Eastview goaltender there.
You're talking about the potential of fatigue, and that certainly is there, but boy, the Jags look energized by that 4-0 lead, and it looked like, at least on that exchange, the Lightning were sagging a little bit there, and they ended up icing the puck here. So there will be another face-off here to goaltender Ruzi's right here. Ninth grader has played very, very well for Eastview, been able to stop 27 out of 31, but the Jags continue to try to put on the pressure with 6:40 remaining in the third.
Tyus going to take that draw. Eastview comes away with it. They're going to try to get around Keith. They succeed, but the puck goes somewhat deep. Keith recovers. Lindman was back as well. First helping out. Oh, centering pass. Just couldn't get redirected on net. Sam DeVent's got it on the far side wall, but she's tied up. Eastview dumps it behind the net. They've got possession, looking for a pass. Good move there. They chip it out front. Sam DeVent picks it up, though. Comes back to the blue line. Thrown in front. Puck's bouncing again to the blue line and dumped back in. Again, Bloomington not getting to pucks the same way they were in the first period. Down to the last 6 minutes. Fumbling a little bit in their own zone. That shot hit a skate. Sam DeVent, let's see if she can get it out here. Puck's bounced in the air. Tyus finally comes away with it. She gets it across the red line and it succeeds in dumping it in. Bloomington going to change all three forwards. Nice job by Tyus and Sam DeVent there. Getting it deep. Bloomington drops back. Lindman breaks up the onrush, but loses the puck immediately. Eastview spins in the corner. Tough angle shot. That gets deflected over the top of the net. Eastview now looking to get it back to the blue line. Woodford breaks that up. Thornburg comes away with it. She's got Woodford with her. They're kind of getting in each other's way, but Thornburg fires a shot. That, I think, was going to go a little wide. I think goalie got a stick on it, but probably not on net to begin with. Dumped behind the net. Hoffbeck's got it. She gets bounced off in the corner, and Eastview comes the other way. Trineri's back with Herman. Herman forces play to the outside. Drop pass, wide open. That shot, good save by Bird with a Eastview player right in her grill, but somehow saw that puck and got down on it before a rebound could get hit.
Good initial save, and then something that I think is challenging for any goalie is making that good save, and the puck is right in front of you there. As you said, an Eastview player forward right in front of her, and she's able to cover it with her glove. Really nicely played by Ada Bird. Ref looks like he's going to redo the face-off there. I don't know if he thought someone was offsides, but he'll drop it again. Taken by Natalie Thornburg.
Woodford wins that one. Gets it a good pass to Hoffbeck, and Woodford crashing the net hard. Shot hit the goalie in the face. Save, Woodford was there, but the rebound came out to the high slot. Woodford was really low to the crease. Herman at the blue line tries to dump it in. Hoffbeck battles for it on the far side wall. Again, it comes back to Herman, but she's hamstrung a little bit. Succeeds in just holding the zone. Now Bloomington battling for it down low. Thornburg tries to backhand it to Herman. Somehow gets through. Not a whole lot of strength on these pucks, John, but they're managing to hold the zone. A lot of tips and bumps here. Comes out to neutral ice. Sam DeVent goes back to Herman. Herman tried to find Thornburg, but hit a skate. She makes a move. She's got the puck now. She's got Thornburg going to the bench, so she's got first with her. Herman was first calling for it. Herman carries it, tries to go off the side of the net. It got to first. She slid that one just wide, though. Herman exhausted at the end of that shift. She needs to get off, but here comes Eastview the other way. Tyus, who was covering at the blue line. She gets it up the far side wall. Comes in behind the net. No icing. Herman just going to try to ring the boards. Gets it to Sam DeVent. Sam DeVent makes a move. She gets it ahead to first. First in a bit of a puck race. Bounces it ahead. Gets the shot on net. Another toe save by the Lightning goaltender. That shot wasn't hard, but had Tyus crashing the far side post. Eastview.
Nice job by Ella First to get the puck through her defender and get it on net there and create a potential rebound opportunity there.
I feel like this third period's flying by, John. We now got 3 minutes left. That centering pass comes all the way out to the blue line. Thrown back in. The puck's loose in. Skates. Keith trying to clear it. Batted ahead by First. Bloomington showing signs of fatigue. Oh, really hard shot. I don't know if that hit a blocker or a shoulder pad. but Bird made that save. That was probably the hardest shot we've seen all game. 21st shot from Eastview. Eastview still flying. Bloomington looking tired, but trying to hold on for the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds here. That clearing attempt gets by Hoffbeck. Held in at the blue line, goes behind the net. Woodford's going to get to it. She gets good centering pass from Woodford. Finds Thornburg. Thornburg comes in. That shot saved. Had Hoffbeck with her.
Well, a lot of offensive opportunities from this line of Hoffbeck, Woodford, and Thornburg tonight. 2 goals by Thornburg, 1 by Woodford, and Megan Hoffbeck has been in the mix a whole lot as well. So really well played there.
Centering pass. Hoffbeck's in front, but tied up, and the Eastview goaltender pounces on it. We got 1:40 left in the game, John. Bloomington with a comfortable 4-goal lead. They are looking gassed, though, after 3 periods of up and down hockey.
They are, and they're hopefully going to skate in with a victory here, and of course, ideally for the team and for Ada Bird, be able to maintain the shutout. But they will have earned it. They do look like they've been out there a lot.
Kurt just gave you a side eye. You can't say the S word, John. Not with 1:40 left.
That's the kind of confidence I have in the Jaguars and our goaltender Ada Bird here.
Eastview helping us out here. They take another penalty. I'm not. That was right off the draw. I think the center might have knocked Thornburg backwards, maybe a little too aggressively. So for the last 1:40, Bloomington will have a man advantage here, unless we score, of course. One last power play opportunity.
That has 3 goals so far, with Hoffbeck, Thornburg, and Woodford.
Eastview wins that draw and succeeds in splitting the D, dumping it all the way down. Trineri's going to give chase, and Eastview aggressively forechecking, shorthanded, and succeeds in knocking that puck loose. Bloomington on their heels a little bit. Herman's going to pick that up. She's going to skate up the near side walls, cuts back to the middle. It's got Woodford with her, shot on, and Woodford was there in case a rebound came, but it did not.
And you can see on the snow on the ice the route that a tumbling Lola Herman took, and
bit of a crash landing over on the.
It looks like a runway down there,
it does.
But a really nice hustle play by her, and it looks like she's smiling. She's just fine there. In fact, she's staying on the ice. 1:09 remaining. Power play for the Jaguars, trying to add to this 4-0 lead.
Eastview again wins the draw. First pressure in the puck. Sam Neventh going to try to get that back to Herman. Herman content to just dump that behind the net. Tyus gets a stick on it. Oh, tried to center it, but that hit an Eastview forward. Eastview picking up speed, gets around Trineri. Herman back. That shot, I don't know if that was saved or hit the side of the net, but not in. Bloomington's got to stay aggressive here. Don't concede shots. Eastview hustling after the puck. 4-on-5. They get it back to the blue line. Somebody's got to close out. Slap shot gets through. Another big save by Bird, down to 30 seconds.
Good
Herman comes away with it.
So far.
She's looking to pass.
Opportunities, Ryan. Yeah.
Gets it ahead to first. First hustling after it. She's 1-on-2. Bloomington gets fresh D out. Tyus trying to keep it in. They got to pay attention here. Here comes Eastview. That's a trip. Fortunately, there's only 7.5 seconds left. Bloomington just hanging on here a little bit, John, even with the man advantage. They're looking like they're just hoping to get off ice and rest up. I'm not sure who's got the penalty here. I thought it was
initially
Trineri.
It was Trineri, and then it looked like they were trying to.
I think they got confused on the numbers.
Yes, exactly. But Ava Trineri does pick up a tripping penalty. 7.5 seconds remaining. Face-off will be to Ada Bird's right as the Jaguars try to close this out here. 4-0 lead. We do have a 4-on-4 situation here because, of course, we still have the Eastview Lightning player who was called for interference still in the box.
Oh, good shot from Eastview. Glove saved by Bird. Comes out to the blue line and last shot blocked. Fortunately, John, you didn't jinx it. Ada Bird with a 22-save shutout with a very plucky Lightning team after getting 0 shots in the first period. Ended up with the Official tally of 26 over periods 2 and 3, but Bloomington just a little too much offensively. They win this game 4-0 with a really solid showing top to bottom, John.
Absolutely, and good goalie play on both
Yes.
sides. You just talked about Ada Bird getting the shutout, how well she played. You also had the aforementioned Jaden Ruzi, the 9th grader for Eastview, who had a very solid game as well here. So, but a nice victory coming off victory in the 3rd game of the tournament that the Jaguar JV team had here. So a little 2-game winning streak again, and they'll get a well-deserved break, but they'll be back on the ice again tomorrow night here.
That's
against
right,
Two
a
Rivers.
quick turnaround. All right, so yes, tomorrow, 5 o'clock again, JV, 7 o'clock varsity. Now, John, tonight, the varsity game, we got the Mike Ryan ceremony before the game. So do we have an official start time or we'll be broadcasting a little early for that? Is that at 7? Is that at 6:50? Do you know?
Game is at 7 o'clock. We'll probably be on the air around 6:55 or so. And the way that it's going to work is a tribute box will be presented by Kurt Krenz and Renee Spencer, who are the 2 people who have led, along with help from so many others involved in the Jaguar hockey family, in this tribute to the former Jaguar coach. We'll do that right before the national anthem and the puck drop. And then right after the first period, there will be an introduction of several alumni who are here tonight as well. So a big alumni night tonight, and a big game coming up here at 7 o'clock.
All right, well, for John and I, we will log off. We will be broadcasting again tomorrow night, but join us back for the varsity game here at about 6:50.
Going as close to 7 as we